Is it recording?
Yep.
Okay, there was no beep. Hi YouTube, and this is JTrain997 here with yet to have a cool YouTube moniker. Say your name.
I don't know, but I'll just go by Tyler.
There you go. And we just got out of the, and this is another thing which we'll hit on real quick. The 10 o'clock showing of Evil Dead. Now, what happened to a midnight movie being at midnight? G.I. Joe was a day early with 7 o'clocks. Evil Dead has a 10 o'clock.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I like it better at 10 if they're going to move it up. I guess maybe they're trying to get more people in.
Yeah,
but
7's dinner time.
Yeah, but like you,
with me.
like what you were saying, it used to be an experience. Like only the people who really wanted to see the movie were going to be there at 12, and then the people who are here at like 7, 10 o'clock, they're like, well, hell, let's just go ahead and see the movie now.
Yeah, it's like, well, we're here anyway. I mean, it used to be a gathering of nerds, if you will.
Yeah. Like all Harry Potter and all those other ones used to just
Iron
come
Man,
out there just for that reason.
But that being said, rarely am I at a loss for words for a movie, but son of a bitch, that movie was intense.
I don't get scared by horror movies. I love them. I don't sleep that same night, but I don't get really scared by them. But holy hell, that movie scared the shit out of me.
I have not been scared by a movie in a long time, and I sat and watched The Exorcist, and I jumped, but that was it.
Yeah, it's just like the big, like, loud
This
noise.
movie, I was never not on edge. I was like, oh shit. Okay.
I know, you're sitting there holding on.
And there's so many little ways it gets you that are clever. Like, there's one part, and there's going to be spoilers, but this is a movie that we could tell you everything that's going to happen, and it wouldn't ruin the movie.
Oh, no,
at all, because the seeing it is the experience.
Mm-hmm.
I completely lost my train of thought on that one.
I don't know, but, I don't know, everything about it was really cool. I mean, just the fact that they did, I don't know if any of y'all know this, but they used, like, very, very, very minimum CGI, which I think that's what made it more real.
Oh, definitely.
Like, because all these horror movies, nothing but CGI, CGI, CGI. Now,
I think the only CGI in this is the trees.
Was the tree, and that's very little because...
And you can't tell.
No, the one that went, like, all up in her, that looked more like a puppet type thing. Like, if it was CGI, they made it look older, like, you know, the older CGI, like, during, like, the 80s and, well, not really 80s, but, you know, just back then it looked older.
Yeah, I can understand that. I mean, this movie was just something, because there's horror movies that overdo it, where they're like, okay, they're going for shock value, they just want to, you know, really fucking disturb you. And they lose something because they're like, there's no real quality, it's just shock value, oh, look at what we're putting in front of you, it's so gory, it's so intense. There's a hell of a lot of gore in this movie, and there's just so much shit, like, there's a scene where you see a girl and she's, like, giving into the possession, and she pisses herself.
Oh, yeah.
And I just, like, I didn't think of that hitting me as much as it would, and I'm like, son of a bitch.
Yeah, I know, it's just like, oh, God. It's like they don't do it just for the sake of doing it. They do it, and then you're like, oh, she's kind of probably really frightened and stuff like that, and just, I don't know, it really hits you, but damn, they do it well.
Oh, yeah.
Like, just where the girl, she just pukes blood, like, just gallons of it on this other girl's face, and you're just like,
I had to call bullshit on that one guy, because he's like, oh, no, she's just, you know, disturbed or something. Like, she just vomited more blood than is in the human body onto someone, and everyone in that cabin is like, we can fix her.
Yeah,
fuck her.
That was an amazing movie. I mean, very, 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 very good. But the one gripe I have about it is the main guy. What was his name? Chris?
I couldn't tell you.
I'm calling him Chris.
And this is what I called going in, because he was like the protagonist, and you didn't see him in the trailers. I'm like, oh, they wanted to hide him. Blue shirt, black hair. I'm like, at the end, they're going to drop his name as Ashley, because Bruce Campbell's name was Ashley Williams.
That's what I was hoping.
Yeah, and I'm like, I just kept waiting for it. Nope.
Never happened. But the one gripe about him is the whole time he's just like the girl's a junkie, so he's like, oh, if my sister wants to go back home, I'm going to take her home. 5 minutes later, you need to stay here. It's like just the whole thing. Like,
well, they did give a little talk. They're like, well, you know, she OD'd and we can't bring her back. She was technically dead.
Yeah, but then he said after that, he's like, oh, well, I'm going to have to take her.
Well, it's not like they could have gone anywhere. The bridge was out.
True. But still, it's just like his character just really kind of got under my skin. Like, he didn't want to, he was in denial of the whole thing happening.
You don't know this. This is not really a gripe with the movie, but in both the Evil Deads, which I know you've seen 2, I don't think you've seen 1. It's on Netflix. Watch it. Everybody watch it.
I've seen 1, because that's what but it's been years.
In every one, the bridge is out, and it's like a bridge on a mountain pass. Here, the bridge is out, and it's like a dip in the thing and the river
It's
floods
flooded.
it. Okay, don't get me wrong. Great kudos for coming up with an original way, and it's not just the twisted up bridge, which I wouldn't have been bothered if it was in there. You're in a motherfucking Jeep. Try. Because I guarantee you, I would walk back with my passed out sister in my arms saying, I tried to get across the river before I would.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw a hurricane disaster video where a guy was in his wheelchair in waist deep water, going like electric wheelchair, just going along. I'm like, yeah, I try. Fuck it.
Yeah, I mean, it was like an off-road Jeep. He could have at least. I mean, it didn't look that deep either.
No,
You know,
like
maybe
honestly,
like up to here.
yeah, he could have waited.
Yeah.
I would have waited.
Or get some rope and throw across or something. I don't know, but man, was that a good movie? The what was it? The Ashley's car.
Yeah.
You noticed that, and then it dawned on me. I was like, that's a nice little cameo. If it wasn't from him himself.
And I explained this to you earlier. There's people with theories online that because Evil Dead 1 is pretty much just redone in the first 10 minutes of Evil Dead 2, that the theory is that Evil Dead 1 happened and that Ash just like had this theory, possession in his head that made him bring other people, which I don't really buy into, but whatever. They're both decent movies. They're both great movies. And I was thinking, his car is there. His car gets, well, if you go by Army of Darkness, his car would have been gone. His car gets sucked back to medieval times. But right. I was like, maybe is this kind of in continuity? Are we going to get like, because I had heard the rumors that Sam Raimi, Bruce Campbell still want to do an Evil Dead crossover.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
Oh, after this, I'm all for it.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
But there's just, this movie gets you so many times where you're like, son of a bitch, that's going to be my scare for this movie. That's going to be like what I walk away from going, holy shit, they got me there. And it just keeps outdoing itself nonstop.
Yeah, I mean, it was just, like, every time it slowed down for a second, they just, pow.
Well, I read IGN's review, and they're like, man, the last act drags. And I'm like, I didn't think it dragged at all, because there's so many, like, little twists and turns.
Yeah, like, as soon as, like, all of it started, I mean, it didn't stop.
Yeah, because it takes a little while to get going, but you know what's coming, so it's not bad.
Yeah, so you kind of just like, oh, okay. It's like, oh, this happens, and, like, they just throw you for another loop. And...
One of my favorite scares in the movie, and because she's sitting in the shadows and you're waiting for her, and she turns so quick, and you're like, holy shit, something's in her, and you know something is.
Oh, when
but she's
in
just
her bed?
normal, and you're like, holy, that got me great.
Yeah,
I love that
like
scare.
everybody was just like, oh shit. I mean, that's probably made the big scare. But yeah, everything about it was great. I love horror movies. It's very rare if I get scared by one, and this one did it, and like, good on them. That's a real feat.
Yeah,
I mean, I love getting scared, and it's just all these horror movies are all the same. They're predictable, every little thing, and this goes back to its roots, and just generally scary.
Yeah, because and that's one of the things. Because I'm like, I went back and I watched The Exorcist when I was in like 9th grade, and I'm like, I see why it's scary, but I think the reason it fucks with people so much is that it crosses so many lines. Because you've seen The Exorcist, right?
Oh yeah. Long time ago, though.
Yeah, like, she's stabbing herself in the crotch with a crucifix saying, like, Christ, fuck you, pussy. And I think that crossed a line so bad for people that it, like, that's what, like, made this movie, the evil movie.
Right.
This movie outdoes that. Like, not in a let's piss Christians off kind of a way, but in a, like, this is kind of a dark, evil tone kind of a thing. I think it really outdoes The Exorcist. I'll go on record as saying that.
Yeah, I mean, it was really...
There is no reason this movie cannot be like what brings us back to what horror movie should be instead of the stupid little...
And I hope so, because that's exactly what I was saying. It goes back to its roots. This is what it needs to be. Don't do that CGI bullshit. Just go back to how it used to be and just, give us some good scares. I mean, everybody, it just seems like they're all just wanting to just pussyfoot around and just do the same old little thing.
What I hate is because, like, I hate to keep bringing up The Exorcist, but... Because everyone, like, there's another hot button with The Exorcist. People kind of like, there's a lot of... I mean, I'm Christian, you're Christian. The world buys into Christianity, so... Possession is something we kind of, accept that it's out there. That's what fucks with people on. That's why we got so many movies. The Last Exorcism, The Possession, The Last Exorcism Part 2.
Paranormal Activity.
Paranormal Activities 1, 2, and 3. And 4. There's a 4th one. I've seen the 3rd one. I'm not watching it anymore. Those are bullshit. 30 minutes worth of scares in a 2-hour movie. No, thank you. And I can't emphasize that enough. This is what a horror movie should be. It shocked you. It's gonna stay with me all fucking night and probably through the week.
Yeah, I mean,
I got a poster of this shit up in my house. That bitch is coming down when I get in the door.
I know. When I get home, I'm just thank God that Lauren is there because I'm just like gonna curl up beside her and probably cry myself to sleep.
I'm trying to remember if I have a copy of the Bible at home. Just like, Jesus loves me.
Oh, yeah.
What the fuck was that?
I know, like I told you, I'm seriously going home and reading the Bible because this movie just freaked me out. Because but it excites me because a movie hasn't done that to me in a long time. I think Insidious was the last one that really creeped me out, but it was mainly the demonic possession thing that really.
Insidious was interesting. I'll give it that. Like, I think we talked about that earlier.
Mm-hmm.
It's, it's not like it didn't do for me what this horror movie did, but it was a nice little break. Like that and Sinister are the first horror movies I watched in a while where I'm like, oh, this isn't more.
I haven't seen Sinister yet, but I heard it's
worth
pretty
a
good.
rent. I don't know about an own. Maybe wait for it on Netflix.
I guarantee you, I'm going to buy this movie as soon as it comes out.
I'll buy it too. I don't know how quickly I'm going to watch it. I'll never watch it alone. I'll guarantee you that.
Yeah, I'll probably call you over and be like, hey, you want to watch it? Yeah, okay. And then, like, probably hide it in a, like, safe somewhere so it won't come to life and kill me.
They did this with the Evil Dead DVDs, the 1 and 2, and I loved it. But they put them in a case that looked like the Necronomicon, which...
Nope.
And when you press the eye, it would scream.
Nope.
So I'm like, that would be great, because I'd have to hide that DVD from myself, and then it's the Necronomicon.
Well, I had the Freddy Krueger glove for years, and for years it stayed in a linen closet on the opposite side of the house because I got it when New Nightmare came out. So,
oh, you poor man.
Yeah, so
I
was just like, holy crap, that thing's just gonna shamble on over and kill me when I sleep and just destroy my face and my body. And no, that was not a good childhood. I should have burnt that thing. I think it's somewhere in the attic, just plotting its revenge. But no, I don't.
They're tapping the clock.
It's in there with the Furbies.
Oh, a Furby with a fucking Freddy Krueger like that. Like I wasn't gonna get enough sleep tonight anyway. I mean, damn.
But yeah, really.
Furby loves you.
No, I think I have like 4 Furbies in the closet at my parents' house. It's a lonely job. But yeah, anyway, it was a great movie. I can't wait. I was about to say I might go see it again, but hell no.
I still haven't seen G.I. Joe Retaliation a second time, and I think, you know how big, everybody knows how big into G.I. Joe I am. I still want to see it 2D, at the very least, and I saw Rise of Cobra like 3 times. This is much better than Rise of Cobra. But overall, like, there's not really anything to spoil, and I mean, it doesn't matter if we sit here.
Know the plot by now anyway. It's been since '81.
If we sat here and, just like I already said, if we sit here and lay it out scene by scene, okay, this is what happens. This is what's gross. I mean, you know the girl's going to piss herself, but you're not going to be able to prep yourself for that. It doesn't matter.
You know what? The one spoiler save you a lot of heartbreak. The dog fucking dies.
You called that
dies.
shit. The dog shows up and I'm like, oh, I hope he doesn't die. You know he does.
Yeah, he dies.
You don't see it when it happens, and you get like a very brief flashback. So at least they don't dwell on it.
And
we didn't have
that's
to
when you
see
want
it.
her to die. You're like, she killed that dog. Its name is Grandpa. Why would you want to kill that?
Kill a dog named Grandpa. It's like a double whammy. So that was my thing. I'm like, if that was that guy, like she's locked in the basement. Like, is she well enough for me to kill yet? Polishing the shotgun. I'm glad you made it through rehab.
This one's for Grandpa. But yeah, I thought it was a great movie.
Yeah. And
good job.
This is such an Easter egg, I don't want to spoil it. But what happens in the finale of the movie, because there's so many little nods to the Evil Dead series as you go up, like, because he builds this little rig to him. He builds like a little makeshift defibrillator at one part. Yeah. And when he pulls the thing back, you see the chainsaw for a quarter second. It's like very reminiscent of Ash going in there, like. But I mean, there's little things you see Ash's car. Well, it doesn't.
The possessed hand,
which never came back.
No, I was always like in the background, just like looking in the background, like, is it gonna come on over?
I kind of like, because that kept me on edge. I was waiting for it. And it doesn't bother me that it didn't happen.
I think that would have made it a little too silly though.
You know what?
They did that, maybe.
I'm all up for either a sequel or a prequel, because the opening, I'd love to see that story. What happened in the opening?
With the father?
Yeah, because that was pretty intense as well. I mean, the opening of this movie just hits you and you start going. And it really kind of pads the fact that there's that little bit of setup where nothing's happening. But,
yeah, on edge the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, I love the special effects especially. Because like we already said, there's no real CGI with the exception of the trees, and you don't see it in the trees. Like, with the exception of the one little, whatever the fuck that thing was.
I don't know, root. It looked like a root.
She threw it up, though.
Yeah, but it looked like a root.
Yeah, it did. I'm not arguing that, but like the one special effect I'll give that didn't look real, and I think the intention was for it not to look real, was the when she just like 70 gallons of blood.
That was like really old school, though.
That's what I liked. It was like, it reminded me of like what would have been an Evil Dead 1, and I'm like, that fits for me. Anybody who's gonna laugh at that can't argue that's exactly what would have happened in the first movie.
There was no moose, but we did get antlers.
Oh, it was a deer.
Oh.
It was a deer in Evil Dead 2.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, the moose is from the musical. Yeah, you have.
That's right.
I played a couple of songs from you for you. If you haven't seen Evil Dead the musical, all of it's on YouTube. Check that out. It's great.
We need to go back and just marathon these, because I've seen the first one, because now that we're all talking about it, it's all coming back.
It's on Netflix.
And then the second one, I've only saw that one time with you.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen the third one.
You haven't seen Army of Darkness?
No, I have not seen Army of Darkness, and this has got me really, because I've always been like scared to watch it, because they're like, oh, a lot of people say it's not good, but then
it loses. Like Evil Dead 1 is straight horror. Evil Dead 2 is horror with campiness. Evil Dead 3 is like no. People argue there's horror. I say there's no horror. It's straight up campy, but it's still a really, really good movie.
Yeah, it's on like my list of like probably 50 movies that I need to get to that I just never have time to. But I'm a huge Bruce Campbell fan. Love him. He's amazing. So I really need to get on that.
Well, we've been going on for a while, but I can't say enough good things about this. This is a horrifying movie in the best sense of the word. If you're an Evil Dead fan, it does it justice. It does a lot of little tributes to the last one, while still being respectful. It sets up for a series.
And maybe a crossover?
Yeah, that they're saying that. But then again, they've been saying Evil Dead 4 for years, and now we've got a new remake, and they're saying...
Hopefully this will, like, kickstart it, basically.
Yeah, I'd like that.
I see this movie doing really well in the box office.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But, because they've already confirmed a sequel. We don't know what it's about, but we know it's getting a sequel. So, J-Train 997... Tyler.
We'll figure it out.
Where's the kick?
We'll figure it out.
I'll see you soon, YouTube.